Yoga for everybody with Meditation Mutha.
Hi everyone, this is Goyette, your Meditation Mutha, coming to you live from Austin, Texas. I was thinking about the immense mental health that, Hi everyone, this is Goyette, your Meditation Mutha, coming to you live from Austin, Texas. I was thinking about the importance of mental health during these unique times and how it is essential to give ourselves some space. So whether you are on your own or you have housemates or children at home, a partner, to give each other the space that you need in order to thrive, to really have some downtime, some decompression time, some alone time. So not only is that good for your mind, it's also good for your body. Today's practice is all about creating space in the body and then allowing the beautiful magic to happen in that space. So let's start in a comfortable seat. Gently close the eyes and start to invite your breath in more fully through the nose. And as we inhale, noticing the length of the spine, really rising up, lift the ribs up towards the chest. The belly drops in. Notice that space in the low belly. And on an exhale, releasing, surrendering. Let's try it again. Inhale, lifting the ribs up towards the chest. The crown of the head grows towards the sky. And on an exhale, softening, surrendering. One more breath like that on your own. Bring the hands to heart center, bow the mind to the heart. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. And gently open the eyes, release the hands. We're going to start on our belly, so let's take it all the way down. And here we're going to really work on tractioning out the spine so that we can create length. And again, where there's space, there's magic. That's where the magic happens. So let's spread the fingertips out nice and wide. Press the elbows into the earth, forearms on the mat. We'll take the left leg, lift it up, and scoot it back as far as you can and drop it down. Do the same thing with the right leg. Lift up, scoot it back, and drop it down. If you need some space in your low back, you can separate your feet from right to left a little bit. Press the pelvis into the mat. And then we will feel isometrically our elbows moving back. Notice the lengthening of the spine. There's lots of space in the low back. Heels can roll wide so that you create more energy in between the sits bones. Allow the chest to roll through the shoulders. And then just relax the head, hang the head, noticing the opening in the cervical spine. Take a few breaths here, still feeling like your elbows are dragging back, the ribs are moving forward. Lots of length in the abdomen. Soften the jaw. Take a deep breath into the back ribs, expand. Exhale, soften the front ribs towards the earth. Do it again, inhale. And exhale. Let's take the left forearm and bring it parallel to the front of the mat. You can plant your right hand here and then stack the hips one on top of the other. So we're on our side, hips are stacked directly up and down, supporting with the hand. Let's take that top leg, we're going to bend the knee and plant it all the way forward so that the knee is resting on the earth. So now we're kind of hanging out in a casual loungy pose. Notice where your elbow is. Let's bring it underneath our shoulder. And then allow the ribs to fall down towards the earth. So we're sinking down into that shoulder. It's different than pushing. we're relaxing the ribs down. So this might be a big opening for your side body. Notice the space in between each rib. Let's take a few breaths here. This can be pretty intense for some of us. If you want more sensation, you can bend your bottom leg and reach back and grab your foot. Keep your foot nice and low, and you might feel a significant increase in sensation. We're going to be here for several breaths. Relax the head, relax the face, noticing from the left hip all the way up through the ribs and shoulders an opening. Inhale here. Exhale, soften. Try it one more time. Inhale. Exhale, release the foot, lengthen the legs all the way back. Come to resting on your belly. Stack the hands, forehead on the mat. While you're here, I'm going to turn around to switch sides so you can see me better. Allow the heels to roll wide. And just surrendering. Notice any differences from right to left. Let's come up onto the forearms again. Elbows in front. Separate your feet. Nice and wide. Heels roll wide. It's all about creating space today. The elbows drag back. The chest, the ribs move forward. The heart moves forward. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Tuck your chin just a little. Elbows pulling back. The low body feels like it's heavy as the upper body is moving, so we're tractioning out the spine. And then from here, take your right forearm, bring it parallel to the top of the mat. Plant your left hand, stack the hips, one on top of the other like we did before. Take your top knee and bend it. Plant the knee all the way down so your foot and knee are grounded. Plant your hand in front and then allow your ribs to fall. So sink into that shoulder, fall towards the earth. Again, this might be a pretty big opening for some of us. Notice your elbow. It's directly underneath the shoulder. And if you feel like your shoulder's moving forward, let's see if we can roll that shoulder back and open. A little bit more sensation even there. Bend the bottom knee if you'd like and sweep that foot back. Grab onto the foot. Keep your foot low. Ooh, I feel this. Every rib separating with an inhale. Exhale, surrender. Relax the face, relax the neck. Drawing your right shoulder back, opening up the ribs. A few more breaths in the side body. One more inhale. And exhale, release the leg. Lengthen both legs back behind. Stack the hands one on top of the other. And slowly relax your forehead to the mat or to your hand. Take a moment noticing any differences from right to left. This time we'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders, push back through hands and knees. Keep your knees high, your hips are high above the knees, and just walk the hands out to the edges of the mat. So the hands are lengthening, the hips stay high, so don't sit back towards the heels. You can separate your hands wide, so you can even take them off the mat if you need more space for your shoulders. And then we're going to start to fold forward. Relax the forehead on the ground or on a pillow or a blanket. Elbows come towards the ground. Hips are high above the heels and the knees. Walk the hands out in front, lengthen the side ribs. Take a deep breath into your belly, expand. Exhale, surrender. Again, inhale. Exhale. Take a nice big inhale into the armpits, expand from right to left. Exhale. Walk the hands underneath you. Push into hands and knees. We're going to come to seated, so we'll flip over. Lengthen the legs out in front of us. So this time we're going to be doing a forward fold. Let's take a moment to scoot ourselves out of the way. So we're just moving the flesh of the bottom out of the way so we can feel our sits bones underneath. feet are flexed, knees are bent as much as you need to. So if you want to put a blanket under there, you can. I'm going to grab onto the backs of my thighs. I'm going to push down into the sits bones and notice everything lifting up towards the sky. And then start to fold forward. So you can grab onto the backs of the thighs, rounding in. Good. Bring your breath to your back body, right behind the heart. Inhale. Exhale, release the chest. Do it again, inhale. Exhale. One more here. And exhale. Slowly rise up, face lifts up. And we'll scoot ourselves forward. Grab onto the backs of the thighs, slowly lower all the way down. So we'll bend the knees. Knees are pointing up towards the sky. Feet are flat on the mat. Arms are along your side. We're going to take a moment to traction out the spine. So lift the hips an inch or so off the mat. Keep your upper body and shoulder blades exactly where they are. Move the hips more towards your heels. You might feel a nice lengthening in the spine and then slowly lower down. Let's do the opposite. So now we're going to bring our fingertips behind our head. Elbows point up towards the sky. Keep your hips where they are this time. Give a little crunch. So we're just doing a little crunch, and then we're going to scoot the shoulder blades. We'll lean over to one side and scoot the opposite shoulder blade up, walking away from your heels, and then lean over to the opposite side, scoot the shoulder blade up. So you might feel a nice tugging on the spine. Relax the head all the way down. Chest is open. Stay here for a breath or two, allowing the heart to start to soften. Good. Keep that length in the spine. Bring your arms along your side. We'll push into the feet. So if you need to, you can bring the heels a little bit closer this time to your glutes. Push into the feet. Lift the hips up. So now we're in a low bridge. Hips are off the mat. The chin is closer to the chest. The chest moves towards the face. And then feel like your hands sweep over your head and that someone is pulling on your fingertips in the opposite direction of your knees. So you're lengthening, your low belly hollows out. And then as they're pulling, you're moving your hips more towards your heels. Feel that traction. It feels so good. Slowly lower the hips down and then the arms down. Great. I love that release of pressure there. Let's try it again. So pushing into the backs of the arms, come to a low bridge, push into the feet, lift the hips, chest moves towards the face. And then from here, sweep the arms overhead. Feel like someone's grabbing onto your fingertips, pulling as your hips move more towards your heels, hollowing out the belly, and then slowly lowering all the way down. Relax the arms down. Great. Notice that length in the spine. Let's hug the right knee into the chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Lengthen the left knee away. So from here, we'll grab onto the back of the thigh. Flex your foot. Lots of energy in that heel. And then push your thigh into your hand. So I'm pushing forward. I'm not moving much, but there's a lot of pressure in my hands. The back of the thigh is pushing into them. And then notice your right hip. See if you can move it down and towards your left ankle so you create more space on the right side. So just noticing that, working with the SI joint to stabilize. Flex the foot, lengthen the leg all the way up. Keep that sensation of pressure in the hands. Push forward. Good. Stay here for a few moments. Good. Noticing where you feel sensation in the body. Slowly lower that leg all the way down and then lengthen both legs down below. Close the eyes for a moment. Take note of any differences from right to left. Whether one side might feel more grounded or long. Let's hug the left knee into the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze, a little bit of compression here. Grab onto the back of the left thigh this time. Flex the left foot. Start to press the thigh into the hands. Notice that energy, that moving, pushing forward. And then notice your left hip, move it down and in towards your right ankle. so the left side gets longer. Take a few breaths here, lots of energy into the hands. Start to lengthen that leg, opening up the back of the thigh. Keep the pressure in the hands. Bend the knees, slowly lower all the way down. Lengthen both legs, arms come along your side. Good. Let's lift the right leg up one more time and scoot it down and long. Drop it back down. Do the same thing with the left leg. Lift it up, scoot it long, and drop it back down. Separate your feet from right to left, really wide out to the edges of the mat. Take your right ankle and leg and bring it along your left ankle. So both legs are going more towards the left. Take your left hand, drop it down as your right shoulder blade rises up. We're starting to make a C shape with the body. If you want, you can sweep your right hand overhead, bend the elbow as much as you need to. And then if you want a little bit more sensation, take your right ankle, cross it over the left. So we're feeling grounded in the lower body. Lots of opening on the right side. On your next inhale, from your right foot up the side body all the way through the fingertips, expand. Exhale, release. Do it again, inhaling, separate all the connective tissue in between the ribs. Exhale. One more breath on your own. Let's slowly release the right hand, center your shoulder blades, separate your feet, uncross the ankles, feet nice and wide. Pause here for a moment, again, tuning into any differences from right to left. And let's bring the feet and legs nice and wide off the edges of the mat again. We'll take the left ankle and bring it towards the right ankle. Start to make that C shape by dropping the right hand down, the left shoulder blade rises up. And then we begin to sweep that arm overhead. Good. Cross the left ankle over the right if you want more sensation. From your left ankle up through the fingertips, inhale. Create space in between each rib. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, growing length within the entire body. Exhale, soften. Last breath on your own. And slowly release the arm down along your side. Shoulder blades back to center. Uncross the ankles. And pause for just a moment. Gently close the eyes. And we'll be here in Shavasana, our final resting pose together for just a few breaths. So notice where you might be able to generate some space in the body and use your breath to create that. On an inhale, expanding. On an exhale, softening and surrendering. On an inhale, lengthening. And on an exhale, releasing. Just a couple more breaths on your own. Start to move the fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. You can hug the knees into the chest. Roll over to one side and make your way all the way up to seated. And we'll finish with just a little bit of breath work. What I'd love for you to do is actually plant your hands on your thighs and push it down. And then on an inhale, rise up, so lift away from that space. Everything lifting up right through the center. Good. The ribs lift, the belly lifts, the chest lifts. Exhale, soften. Gently close the eyes. Let's do that again. Lift the pelvic floor up. The low belly lifts towards the ribs up towards the chest. And on an exhale, softening towards the earth. Just a couple more breaths on your own, lengthening, grounding down with those hands, and exhaling, moving towards the earth. Last one here. And final exhale. Relax the arms, soften your concentration. We'll bring the hands to heart center. Lift the thumbs. Push them into the heart. The heart lifts up into the thumbs. Bow the mind to the heart. And just honor yourself for showing up today, for giving yourself this space, this time, where all the magic lies. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm Kim Goyette, your meditation mother. If you like this video and you want to be the first to receive weekly videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Yoga with Meditation Mutha. And if you want to learn tips on how to live simply extraordinary, follow my website at www.meditationmutha, that's MUTHA.com. Thanks so much. See you next time.